Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third annual induction of the Holliston High School Athletic Hall of Fame. It's our pleasure to celebrate this accomplished third class with all of you this evening. The athletes, coaches, and team being inducted this evening demonstrate athletic excellence at its highest form at the high school level. We are happy to recognize the success of the third class and are honored to celebrate their induction this evening. Before we begin, we'd like to take the time to thank the following people and groups for their support. We'd like to thank the Administration and Athletic Department of Holliston High School. We'd like to thank our sponsors, HABA and Middlesex Savings Bank, for their continued support. We'd like to thank HCAT for filming this event tonight and sharing it with the Holliston community. We'd also like to thank and welcome former inductee Bill Gillen to tonight's evening, sitting in the back of the room. And finally, we'd also like to recognize the selection committee for the time and effort they have committed to making this event possible. Patrice Bouzan, Carol Kosicki, Jim Lamusio, Jamie Murphy, John Shanahan, and Alex Strum. At this time, I'd like to welcome Jay Wyman and Kevin Conley, tonight's MCs, to begin the evening.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit off script just for a second. Tonight we're here to honor a lot of great athletes and coaches and athletic directors and everything, but a lot of times what we don't see are the people who do a lot of the work behind the scenes. And Holliston this year lost probably our best behind the scenes person ever, Bob Nemeth. So I just want to say about Bob, he was just sensational. He did everything you ever needed, whenever you wanted it. He was a great friend, very dependable, very reliable, and just an all-around good guy. In fact, he was here last year cheering on the inductees last year while he was battling cancer. So just want to say thank you, Bob, and we won't forget you. Okay, on with the festivities. We have 7 individual athletes tonight going to the Hall of Fame. The first athlete we want to induct is Allison Martin Mancuso. When Allison Martin graduated Holliston High School in 1995, she could look back at her athletic career that had few peers. From her earliest days, she displayed the heart and remarkable talents of a champion, qualities that she would carry to an unimaginable success. A three-sport athlete, in the fall, we'd find Allie on the soccer field, where her 42 career goals would establish a team record and lead the Panthers to 3 successive Tri-Valley League titles. During the winter, Allie was a gymnast participating in the floor exercise, vault, beam, parallel bars, and whose 32 points per meet average would earn her team MVP honors. In the spring, Allie would compete in track. We're running the 100-meter dash. She was undefeated in TVL competition and state champion her junior year. She also anchored the 4x100 and 4x400 relay teams, leading each to significant success. Allie's performance did not go unnoticed as she earned Tri-Valley League, Middlesex News, and Boston Globe All-Scholastic All-Star honors in 3 sports. She would then go on to attend Tulane University. We'd like to invite Allison to come up and accept this plaque for her induction.
Thank you. I'm a little nervous, so I apologize if I have a shaky voice. I'd like to thank all the Hall of Fame, Jim Lamusio, all the people that were named earlier that put this thing together for all of us. It was really fun kind of going back and seeing, articles from my dad's scrapbook, things I had completely forgotten about. So hopefully all the other athletes here felt the same way. It was kind of fun to go down memory lane. And it'll be 30 years this year since I graduated from high school, so I'd forgotten a lot of things. I want to thank my parents. They were the ones who got me into all these sports in the first place, drove me to everything, never hardly missed a game. My dad certainly never missed a game. My mom driving me everywhere. And I'd like to thank all my coaches. Oh, wait, I have to go back. My dad also got inducted to the Ashland Hall of Fame last year. Also for 3 sports, and so it feels pretty cool to be following in his footsteps. I'd like to thank my coaches. We've got Ed Buckley, my track coach, sitting over at our table. I was lucky to have the same coach all 4 years, and actually gymnastics I did 5 years, so I had the same coach for all 4 years. So Tish Willis, Pam Fish, and Coach Buckley. I was lucky enough to be on the same soccer team as Stacy Auer-Koshavaki, who's getting inducted tonight. I've played soccer with her since I was in elementary school, and then I was also fortunate enough to be on the same track team as Kim Talman. So she's getting inducted today as well. So it's an honor to be on the same stage as them. And if Kim had done the same events as I did in track, I never would have won anything. So fortunately, she was a distance runner. Last thing I want to say is I just feel really lucky to have been able to be an athlete during a time when club sports weren't really a thing yet. And it was just, I got to dedicate each season for each of those sports. Wasn't even thinking about the other sports during the season. Nowadays, it's like 12 months a year and club, and everyone's running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And I just feel really lucky that I've been able to, in high school, I was able to do 3 sports and just really dedicate myself to them. And it was really just pure joy and no pressure, and it was just all about fun. So I feel lucky that I was around during that time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Allison, for your contribution, and congratulations on the induction. Next up, Kevin's going to introduce Joe Fish.
Thank you, Jay. Next, it is our pleasure to induct Joe Fish to the Athletic Hall of Fame. During an era in which baseball and basketball were the only sports offered to the boys of Holliston High School, Joe Fish was a standout in each. A product of the Mudville Sandlots, he graduated in 1956, and from the first days of his freshman year, it was evident that Joe was something special. Joe played 3 years of basketball, averaging 14.2 points per game as a senior. In baseball, Joe compiled successive batting averages of .333, .380, .410, and .440, with 10 total home runs and leading Holliston to a combined 48-12 record in 3 league championships. Joe also excelled on the mound, going 6-2 as a junior and 9-3 as a senior, striking out 16 Ashland batters in 1 encounter. Named the team captain and MVP, Joe was voted most athletic in his class and chosen to play in the Hearst New England All-Star Game at Fenway Park, where he knocked out 2 hits, driving in 3 runs. He was also named an honorable mention choice in the Boston Globe All-Scholastics team. Following graduation, Joe signed a contract with the Boston Red Sox, playing for their Lexington, Nebraska Farm Club in 1957. His professional career being curtailed due to injuries, Joe soon found himself in France, where playing for the Army, he would lead his service league in hitting. He returned to the States, where he married and raised a family. Through it all, he remained a staunch and dedicated supporter of Holliston High School athletics, even participating in Harvey Krupnick's annual alumni baseball game until the age of 58. We'd like to invite Joe to accept this plaque in recognition of this induction. Come on down.
Appreciate it. Thanks. I want to thank my brother Billy for getting all the clippings from the 50s from the Framingham Library. From the Framingham News, I want to thank John Shanahan, who is a good friend of mine and helped get me here. I want to talk about other people that were great athletes and great teams in Holliston. Living in Simi Valley in the 70s, I turned on the TV one time and Penn State was playing. And they announced this guy, Gary Peter Kuski, making the tackle from Holliston. I really got thrilled. And then a little later, Ron LaPointe made a great block from the tight end position. Moving along to 1981, I went up to Sullivan Stadium then for the Division IV state championship game and hooked up with a couple of the Campersall boys and saw Scott Rudy, Phil Drogan, and a tight end, I can't remember his name, and they drubbed heavily favored Bourne 35-15. Moving on to 1985, I went up to Boston University field and again met a couple of the Campersalls and saw Mark Sweeney and Rich Cordani doing a powerful Archbishop Williams team who came out on the field and they looked like Notre Dame. They had Notre Dame style uniforms, but it didn't faze Holliston. Moving on to 1987, I went up to Stoneham and Holliston was playing, I think it was Melrose. No, it was the opposite. It was Stoneham playing in Melrose at Morelli Field. And Stoneham had a kid named, I forget what his name was, but he played 8 years for Kansas City in the bigs. And a kid named Day, second baseman for Holliston, hit a home run. I think it was his only home run. And they beat them, and then they easily won the game at Milford against another team, 6-2. So, and then a couple of times I came up from the Cape. I moved to the Cape in '79 and watched Tish Willis's girls soccer team win a couple of games, so that was a thrill. So I don't want to take any more time up, but I really like Holliston sports and athletes.
Joe, great job. Thank you for your contribution to Holliston Athletics. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, it is our pleasure to induct Michael Kilcasey to the Athletic Hall of Fame. During his illustrious tenure at Holliston High School, Michael Kilcasey emerged as a standout hockey player and an inspiring team leader. A three-time varsity letter winner, Michael's leadership shone brightly as he took on the roles of co-captain in his junior year and captain in his senior year. In his junior season, Michael dazzled on the ice, netting 27 goals and providing 25 assists. His exceptional performance earned him a TVL All-Star Honors, Boston Globe and Boston Herald All-Scholastics, and the coveted title of Team MVP. Michael's senior season was nothing short of spectacular. He scored an impressive 30 goals and tallied 35 assists, securing his place as a TVL All-Star and League MVP. His remarkable achievements were further recognized when he was named the Middlesex News Player of the Year. Additionally, he made the Hockey Night in Boston Eastern Mass All-Tournament Team and received the prestigious Mr. Hustle Award. Notably, Michael became the fastest player in TVL history to reach 100 career points. From 1989 to 1993, Michael continued to contribute to Holliston High School's hockey legacy, serving as assistant varsity hockey coach and imparting his knowledge and passion on the next generation of players. Would like to invite Michael up to accept the plaque in recognition of his induction. the plaque.
Thank you. All right. All right, thank you very much. I would first like to thank everyone for being here tonight and congratulate all the inductees on their selection to the Hall of Fame, especially my coach, Ed Mantenuto. Sorry. Being inducted with Ed as the first hockey player and the first hockey coach is really special to me. I would also like to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for remembering me 41 years later and selecting me for this incredible honor. My family and friends join me tonight. Thank you for being here. It means a lot to me. The last few months have been tough for my family. We lost our mother, and having my sisters here with me tonight, special. My two sons, who are actually Medway Mustangs, unfortunately, but both great athletes in their own right with golf and baseball players. I want to say a special thank you to another person who joined me tonight, Henry Woods. Henry's been was a coach of mine from when I first started hockey. Taught me all the fundamentals and stayed with me all the way through high school hockey. Henry and I have been friends for 50 years. As well as his wife Sheila and daughter Lisa, who he graduated high school with. And my parents, of course. All of us who played sports, have to thank our parents for the amount of time they spend with us. The sacrifices, the money. Hockey was an expensive sport. Carting around all of New England and beyond. I wish they were here tonight to share the special moment. Like many men and women my age who played hockey, I'm a product of the Bobby Orr generation, arguably the greatest hockey player of all time. Orr was at the prime of his career when I started hockey, and all of us wanted to wear the number 4 and call ourselves Bobby Orr. I first started to skate when I was just a few years old on a rink across the street from my house that Bob DiNicenzo built. I don't know if you remember the DiNicenzos, but Steven DiNicenzo, class of '82. I was a sophomore when he was a senior, and he set a world record, scoring the fastest hat trick in 11 seconds, right? Scored a goal and 2 more in 11 seconds. I was fortunate to be on the ice for the first goal. A lot of kids played on that rink at the DiNicenzo's house. Ricky and Rod Lavache, Jimmy Dunn, Tommy Cody, John DeCristoforo, Greg Tatuni, many, many other great hockey players out of Holliston. When I was 6 years old, I started playing organized hockey for the Holliston youth program. I played on the same line with 2 of my close friends, Alex Marsden and Sean Themelli. We skated together for 8 years through youth hockey. We won a lot of tournaments, won a lot of leagues. Henry Woods was one of our coaches. My freshman year, going into my freshman year, Alex and Sean decided to go to Marion High School. I don't know why. I won't get into my academic accomplishments, as that would be the shortest speech ever given. I was not a good student academically, and I really struggled through school. But my love for hockey and the support from my coaches and teachers who knew that my passion was hockey, something that I was good at, forced me to try in school, stay in school. So I really thank them for that. I have a lot of great memories playing for Holliston High School. I was talking to Coach Mantenuto earlier. I was in the 8th grade. My brother was a junior at the time. And Coach Mantenuto, I was introduced to the coach. He heard that I was coming up through the youth program. I could put the puck in the net. So he took me under his wing. He asked me to start counting the shots during the games, the varsity games. So as an 8th grader, I'm up in the stands. I think I'm a hot shot, working with the coaching staff. I'd run down in between periods and give Coach Mantenuto the shot clock so that he could analyze how the opponents were attacking our zone and where our offense was working in their zone. So that's how I first started getting to know Coach Mantenuto. My freshman year, there were 9 seniors and 8 juniors on the team, so I really didn't have a shot of making the team. But Coach Mantenuto asked me to skate in all the practices, and it's where it all started. So I skated in all the practices, played in all the JV games. My sophomore year, I made the team. I centered the second line with Jerry Carroll and David Weber on my wings. Coach Mantenuto had us in a checking line, which I had never done before, little short guy like myself. Whenever our opponents were on the ice, when the leading scorers of the opponent team was on the ice, our job was to go out there and lock onto them and shut them down from scoring. I'd never been slashed, cross-checked, punched, sworn at so many times in my life, but it was fun. I scored my first goal that year against Keefe Tech. Believe it or not, Keefe had a pretty good hockey program back in the 80s. My junior year was a long, tough year. We had a very young group. We had 3 seniors, Johnny Gray, Tommy Frost, and Paul Zilioli, and 3 juniors, myself, Rod Lavash, and Mark Bilas. The team was mostly sophomores and freshmen. We went 5-10-5, but as stated earlier, I personally had a good year that year with scoring and made the All-Star team. My senior year, Sean Thamelli came back from Marion. He smartened up, but it was a little late. But we went on to, we had a great season. We went 23-3-1. We made the semifinals of the state tournament and lost in double overtime to Shawsheen, 5-4. That was my last high school game, and of course the one I remember so vividly and I would like to have a redo today. I had 2 goals and 2 assists in that game, but unfortunately I broke my left toe in the 3rd period. I don't know if anybody's ever broken their toe, but it's not pleasant. And it was certainly no fun trying to skate on it. I continued to play, but we lost. So I look back and say, I don't know if we ever had an opportunity, I'd play them today. And I know we would win. And we would have went on to win the state championship. One other great memory I have from high school experience I had was representing the USA playing on a select team led by Coach Mantenuto. We skated in Cortina, Italy and Switzerland. We played in the home of the 1956 Olympics. It was an outdoor arena in Cortina. It was an absolutely unbelievable experience, and thank you to the coach for that. I had a lot of other great coaches growing up. As I mentioned, Henry Woods, his dedication to the youth hockey program and the high school program, should really be recognized. He has spent so many hours teaching kids how to play the game. Coach Mantenuto was like a father to me. Not only was he a great coach, principal here at Holliston High School, but he was also a teacher and a mentor. If I did not have the coach in my life pushing me in high school, watching out for me, I don't know where my life would have turned out. He convinced so many teachers to just give me a little bit of extra help to keep me eligible to play. As mentioned earlier, I was graduated in '84, but came back in 1989. I was able to coach for 5 years, 2 years with the coach before he had to step aside, and another 3 years with Coach Sullivan. So, anyway, it was a lot of great years, a lot of great memories. In closing, I'd like to, again, thank the selection committee for honoring me, and thank you to my family and friends for being here tonight. It really means a lot to me. So, thank you.
Michael, thank you for your contribution to Holliston Athletics. Congratulations on your induction.
Okay, one of the things I get to do before the festivities start is I get to interview all these people. I don't know a lot of them. I didn't know a lot of them. I know a few of them. We'll be talking to them later. If you get a chance, talk to some of these people. It's really Joe Fish. I mean, the stuff he comes up with. He's a riot. And Mike Calcasey works in the same company as my son, and is tonight promised to take care of him. So I get a little bit of stuff out of this. Well, that's all right. We're running low on batteries, Joe. That's okay. All right. Next, it is our pleasure to introduce Stacy Auer-Koshevecki to the Athletic Hall of Fame. Stacy's high school varsity career started earlier than most as an 8th grader, starting on Coach Gunther's softball team. As a first baseman, she made only one error, batting .585. As an 8th grader, batting .585, which was 3rd in the Tri-Valley League, being selected as a Tri-Valley League All-Stars, and earning the first of 13 varsity letters. In soccer, Coach Willis credited Stacy's defense for preventing many goals, leading the team to the Eastern Mass Division II championship and playing in the state finals, the best results for any Holliston girls soccer team at that time. Stacy also found success on the hardwood, with sports writer Mike Flanagan exalting that Stacy Auer has emerged as the premier Panther during her sophomore year. While Coach Atkinson, her basketball coach, noted that her unbelievable rebounding, her tenacious defense, and willingness to go after loose balls, and all that, plus she was a force on the offensive end as well, finishing with 1,188 points for her career. In total, Stacy was a 3-point captain, 12-time All-Star, 5-time Middlesex News All-Star, to go along with being a 2-time team MVP for basketball. Her coaches celebrated her toughness and leadership, with Coach Gunther saying she was a special athlete, but an even better person and teammate. After graduation, Stacy attended Wheaton College, where she was a 4-year starter on the basketball team, and she almost got 1,000 points there too. The coach pulled her out a little early, right, Stacy? The coach pulled you out a little. So we'd like to invite Stacy up to accept her plaque in recognition of her induction.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you. What an incredible honor it is to stand here tonight, to be recognized again among so many talented athletes, coaches, and supporters of Holliston sports is truly humbling. I want to express my heartfelt thanks to the Hall of Fame Committee for the recognition and for keeping the tradition of excellence in Holliston athletics alive. For so many years, sports was my life, the one thing I could do without ever worrying about how I played, whether I was good enough, or who was watching. Those sports came naturally to me. The classroom was a different story. Kind of ironic that I'm a teacher today. Some of my fondest memories are from high school, playing for 3 incredible coaches, Tish Willis, Rita Atkinson, and Deb Gunther. Thank you for your endless patience and commitment to pushing me to be the best version of myself. Whether it was encouraging me to make a clutch shot in basketball, running drills at full speed in soccer, or reminding me to keep my eye on the ball, you were always challenging me to grow and believe in myself. And to my teammates, we spent countless hours together on the field, court, and diamond. We celebrated victories, learned from our losses, and through it all, we had each other's backs. I'll always treasure those moments, the inside jokes, the pasta dinners, and our bus ride shenanigans. But none of this would have been possible without the unwavering support of my family. Thank you to my parents. You were always in the stands cheering me on, even when I wasn't playing my best. Dad, sometimes your cheers might have been a little too loud, because if my memory serves me correctly, you might have been kicked out of a game or two for heckling the refs. But you never missed a game, no matter how early, late, or rainy it was. And to my brother, although you're 2.5 years older, you would often get asked if you were Stacy's brother. But in typical Kevin fashion, you would respond with, well, she might have the athleticism, but I have the looks and the brains. In all seriousness, I want to extend a word of gratitude to the committee, my coaches, teammates, family, and friends for this incredible honor. I hope you all enjoy your night. Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy. Don't forget your pat.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all you did for the Holliston Athletics, Stacy, and congratulations. Okay, next up.
Next, it is our pleasure to induct Kim Tallman-Nadeau to the Athletic Hall of Fame. Regardless of the season, in the late 90s, it was near impossible keeping up with Kim Tallman as a member of the cross-country indoor and outdoor track teams. Tallman was an outstanding 15 times varsity letter winner and a captain for all three squads. In the fall, she was a 5-time TVL champion for cross-country, and in the winter, she placed second at the All-States in the 2-mile. Her junior year and was an All-State champion in the 1-mile her senior year with a time of 5:01. At the time of her induction, her school records in the 1-mile and 2-mile are the longest standing of all the Holliston girls' indoor track records. Her success was not limited to Massachusetts. However, in 1997, she placed 13th at the Nationals in the 2-mile, and the following year she was 12th in the 1-mile. Following her times at HHS, she was an Ivy League champion for Brown in the indoor track 5K event and set school records in both the 3K and the 5K. More recently, she was 9th in the World Mountain Running Championship, and 5 years later won the national championship for mountain running in her age group. We'd like to invite Kim to accept this plaque in recognition of her induction. Good stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Back in the fall, I heard from Coach Buckley about this Hall of Fame honor, and I immediately thought of something I needed to find hidden in a memory bin. So I moved the bin of ice skates and snowshoes aside, pushed the camping gear to the corner, set aside the storage container filled with bike helmets, and then I saw what I was looking for. I pulled each memento out one at a time. There were small race medals and from coaches' meets and state championships, and large MVP trophies from end-of-year banquets. There was a popsicle stick with a number 1 on it. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to give that back. I had college recruitment letters, bib numbers with results written on the back, and notes from old teammates with drawings of strong runner girls. But none of this is what I was looking for. I kept sorting through the memory stacks, red H varsity letters, a printed calendar from August 1994, where I kept track of my training. Monday, 3 miles. Wednesday, 1 mile. Friday, 2 miles. I did eventually increase my mileage. At the very bottom of the bin was a folded piece of paper, now yellowing, and when I opened it, I saw Holliston High School Athletic Department stationery with this handwritten note, every single sentence ending with an exclamation point. Some of you are going to know who that is. Coach Buckley. I want to share this because it gives you a sense of the foundation from which my running was built. And I did, of course, bring the letter. So here's with all the exclamation points. Dated September 13th, and I don't know what year it was, but here's what he wrote. Good to see you running the other day. Hope you are enjoying it. Remember, some exciting things are going to happen for you this year. You're going to love training for big races by working at different distances. You'll stay fresh and focused and have a lot of fun. Have a wonderful cross-country year. Drop by the practice field and check in once in a while. Coach Buckley. Thank you. Keep in mind he was writing that during football season when he had dozens of his own athletes who he was also sending handwritten notes to. I know because my twin brother was one of them. There were likely 30 of these notes from the 5 years competing in cross country and track and field. And these handwritten notes went to all of my siblings and all of my teammates too. It was very special. In the summer going into my junior year, we had no cross-country coach lined up for that season.
My dad knew that Chrissy Clifford, maiden name DeTommy, who had also graduated from Holliston High School, had just finished her 4 years at Boston College, where she was a member of the cross-country and track teams. Call her, my dad said. I can't call her, I told my dad. I pictured myself awkwardly on the phone. And if you knew me in high school, okay, good. I'm not starting over. But where did I leave off? Okay, I got it. Okay, so in 8th grade, it was finally my turn. My sister Jen, then a senior, might have wished I waited just a little longer because there were some moments where my body finished in front of her body. Sorry, Jen. Since that day, I never stopped competing in this sport. Now, as a mom to 2 teenagers, I'm enjoying watching my kids fall in love with the same sport that I fell in love with when I was their age at Holliston High School. I'm back where it all began, but instead of as athlete, I'm the videographer, the not too loud cheerleader, the training sounding board, the one to come to for injury guidance. Let's just say that I don't miss a single meet and I might be known as a super fan. My advice to them, your best days are ahead of you. Big thanks to my mom, my dad and Karen, my sisters Jen and Chrissy, my twin brother Rich for making sure I was tough. Honestly, I can thank my sister Chrissy for that too. To my high school coaches, Coach Buckley and Coach Chrissy, and to all of my fantastic teammates along the way like Pam, Tara, Carissa, and Erin Carbonneau, who is now my sister-in-law. Thank you so much.
Kim, thank you for your contribution to Holliston Athletics. Congratulations on your induction.
All right. For about the last 20 plus years, I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of the football and the basketball games and all other sports in Holliston. So these next 2 athletes are kind of special to me because they come along in what is now known as the Jay Wyman era. So next up, we're going to induct Dave Dubin. During his 4 years at Holliston High School, Dave Dubin exemplified what it means to be a champion and a leader. A 3-sport captain for football, wrestling, and lacrosse, as well as 3-sport TVL All-Star. David's best team achievement came during his junior year when the football team won the Eastern Mass Super Bowl, while the wrestling team reached the state finals in both his junior and senior years. As an individual, Dave excelled in wrestling with 118 career wins to go along with becoming Holliston's first ever all-state champion and placing 3rd in the New England's, also a school best. When reflecting on David's work ethic, headed into his senior year, Coach Paul Capobianco reminisced about how, after enduring a grueling 3-hour wrestling practice, David would ask for the weight room keys so the weight room could be opened and he could get to lift. David went the extra mile needed to stand out among his peers. Capobianco said, and he had the willpower to do so without prompts from me. In football, Dave shone as a first-team All-American tight end and defensive end, highlighted by 5-sack effort against Millis his junior year. I remember that game. It was a great game. As well as All-American defenseman for lacrosse. We'd like to invite David up now to get his plaque.
I'm loud, but not that loud. Good evening. I swear I'm a better wrestler than I am public speaker, so I made sure to make this nice and quick. I'm truly honored, to be accepted into the Hall of Fame. And I want to start by thanking my parents for their unwavering support throughout my athletic career. My dad, who was a coach in my younger years, and my mom, who made sure I had everything needed for practices, games, played a crucial role in my success. Their dedication to me was unmatched, and I wouldn't be here without them. I also wanted to thank my wrestling coaches who are here tonight, Coach Capobianco and Coach Pete Sakili. Coach Pete's endless energy, motivational quotes that are plastered all over the wrestling room, left a lasting impact on me and countless other athletes. His drive to inspire others is something I'll never forget, and I luckily get to still see it today when he brings his athletes to my gym to work out. Coach Cap, you ran a tight ship, balancing discipline and encouragement throughout the 4 years that I got to wrestle under you. You fostered an environment where we as a team could thrive, and I have immense respect for the program you built. I will never forget when you told me I would be a state champion, even when I didn't fully believe it. It was after a long, grueling, I believe, dual meet, and I was heading back to the locker room, and the only thing I really can remember is him putting his arm around me, telling me that I wrestled well, even though I didn't think it, and told me one day I would be a state champion. That fueled my drive from then on out to hopefully get that achievement for him. My success as a senior, earning All-State champ, was the result of hard work and the incredible support from my family, coaches, and teammates. I hope to carry the qualities and dedication, encouragement, and belief in others that I've received from my support system in my daily life. To my support system, this honor is as much yours as it is mine. Thank you for being here tonight.
Okay. By the way, Dave, thank you for your contribution to the sports here at Holliston, and congratulations again. All right. Lastly, it's my pleasure to introduce and induct Kylie Lorenzen to the Athletic Hall of Fame. During her time at Holliston High, Kylie Lorenzen defined the term well-rounded, both as an athlete and in the classroom. An honor roll student who served as a member of the Student Advisory Council, Kylie was a 9-time TVL All-Star across 3 sports. In soccer, she was a 2-time captain and a 2-time team MVP. While on track, she was a TVL MVP in both 2012 and 2015, earning the title of TVL champion 9 times on her way to winning the Division III state championship in both the high jump and the 400 meter. She also set 5 Holliston High School outdoor track records and was part of 3 relay records. But perhaps what she's known best for is her prowess on the basketball court, where she led the TVL in scoring and rebounding twice, ending up with 1,157 points and 954 rebounds. She She was a TVL MVP as a senior and a McDonald's High School nominee. As a senior, she won the Panther Award and the Principals Award before going on to become Southern New Hampshire's all-time leading scorer and two-time All-American. We'd like to invite Kylie to come up now and get her plaque.
Thank you. This is incredible. Even being mentioned in a room and being nominated with all these athletes and amazing people is such a privilege, and I'm so grateful for it. Holliston is such a special place. It's a small town, but it's a really strong one. And it's because of the people in the community. I'm luckily have a great amount of people with me today. It definitely takes a village. Coach Hedrick, my coach for all 4 years for basketball, and you really taught me how to enjoy basketball and just sports in general outside of the actual sport. Mental health, before mental health was a thing in sports, you're ahead of your time, and team bonding, like you really built a sisterhood, and as a coach, I've really tried to bring that in, and I've learned a lot from you, so I'm forever grateful for your coaching and what I learned more than just a sport. Yes. Coach Cheever, you have done so many behind the scenes things that I didn't even know about. You started Fan of Kylie, and not just for me, but the town of Holliston. Holliston sports and athletics and the town in general would not be the same without you and your sport, and like the football field, just everything you give to this town is incredible. So thank you so much for your continued support. Paul, you've been a part of the family before I was even born. And you continue to support. You've always watched my games in high school and in college, and you continue to support. My dad is coach of varsity basketball in Holliston, and I can only watch over my little screen on YouTube and HCAT, but you're always there in the stands in the same little corner spot. So that is something truly special that you're not even from Holliston, but you support it. So you see the specialness. So thank you. Christian, I don't think you understand how much you have meant and like how you built my success, not in athletics, but just in life. When I was stressed or nervous with anything, you would humble me, you'd bring me back down to earth, and you'd make jokes, you would make it light, and I'm grateful for that. And also, thank you for convincing me to participate in track my freshman year, because then I was stuck with it for the next 8 spring seasons of my life. So thank you for that. And Farwa, you're such a blessing in this family, and with your joy, your passion, and love that you share is something that us Lorenzans need sometimes. And side note, Farwa and Christian just matched to Stanford Medical School for vascular surgery. So they're in the process of moving their home, selling their home, finishing up teaching, graduating from med school, and moving cross country. So the fact that they're here is just shows like family and takes a village. So love you so much. Yes, and mom and dad, there are no words to describe how much you mean to me, to everybody. You've always encouraged me. You've never put any doubt in my mind about anything, even today, my crazy adventures and everything. I was lucky to do every sport and every club and been successful, classroom, everything because of you guys. And yeah, everybody always asks, like, where did you get your athleticism? How are you successful in all your sports? And the true answer is both of you. Yes, I get my height from my dad and his jump shot, but we all know mom has a better free throw, and her competitive side is a little scary. So definitely both. But yeah, it takes a village, and Holliston is one of the best villages out here. It always has a special place in my heart, even being across country. So thank you. I appreciate it all.
Thank you, Kylie, and congratulations. By the way, for those who don't know, Kylie's dad is currently the basketball coach, the girls' basketball coach here in Holliston. And for the last 3 seasons, he's taken the team to the state playoffs. So very good job.
There is one team that would like to recognize for this evening's induction to the Hall of Fame. It's our pleasure to induct the 2006 state champion golf team to the Athletic Hall of Fame. The 2006 golf team was not exactly a Cinderella story, as the program was beginning a run of 6 straight seasons qualifying for the state tournament, which included a TVL three-peat and 2 South sectional titles. But entering the state tournament that fall, they were not the favorites. Having finished 3rd in the TVL behind Hopkinton and Westwood, and having lost to Westwood by 8 strokes a week earlier, on October 30th at Gannon Municipal Golf Course in Lynn, however, the day belonged to Coach Chris Murphy's Panthers. Senior captain Zach Culver shot an 83, while juniors Ryan Clancy and Matt Lucier scored an 88 and 80, respectively. Leading the Panthers was freshman and future 3-time TVL MVP Cole Childs with a 79. All of these players, along with teammates Corey Ciricello, averaged under 40 for 9 holes for the 2006 season, giving them 5 of the 9 best averages in the TVL. Their culminating achievement was a 1-stroke victory for Holliston, 330-331, over an undefeated Westwood team for the state championship, the first in school history. Along with teammates Steve DeCecco, Greg Henriquez, Austin Goldenberg, Mark Texiera, Derek and Nick McCauley, Pat Thean, Eric Schmidt, Connor O'Malley, and Ricky Wester. The 2006 golf team set the standard for years of success for the Holliston golf program. We ask for members of the team to come forward to accept their plaque. Someone's got to hold this.
Thank you very much. You're going to take that.
I'm going to take that first. I'm just glad I didn't have to follow directly after Mr. Fish. That was wonderful earlier. Thank you. Listening to all the speeches tonight basically made me throw away the speech that I wrote. You said, in some ways, more than I could that I could have put into words, though I'm supposed to be an English teacher of some sort in this town for 26 years. The community, the families, and then the other little side families that we create in athletics are something that you don't, I suppose you find in a lot of places, but to me, it just seems you don't find them in the same way as we do here. I didn't expect to get emotional about it. I am, you know. We have people flying in from Austin this morning. Coach, I don't know if I can make it, I'll be there. You know, we have people who couldn't be here because they were here last weekend and or are here next weekend due to other obligations. They're all over the place. They're all successful. They're all doing well. They're all, I liked Loesch the best because he was closest to me in height. Everybody else was bigger than DeCecco. We won I think our greatest accomplishment was we won the tug of war at the pep rally that year in 2006. The toughest team in the school. You wouldn't think that of the golf team, but there are a couple of people I just want to mention who were listed already. One who was listed already, and one who was not. who are not with us anymore. And just take one moment to remember our teammate Corey Ciercello and Ryan Clancy's dad, Chris, who was one of our biggest supporters. So just for one moment, just think on those names, please. And I also want to recognize, in terms of biggest supporters, Mr. Childs and Janet, his wife, who didn't say that he was going to come tonight, but I knew we couldn't have beaten him off with a stick at the door. Was always there following me around in the woods, in the tree line, while I was trying not to throw up, watching these guys give away a lead or whatever it was. He was there every step of the way. We appreciate all his support, and Chris was right there with him, and along with all the other parents who did all the toting around and fretting and worrying and all that stuff that people have mentioned before. I don't think we had a lot of arguments amongst us other than what color belt we were going to wear. You guys were like the fashion plates of the league. We worried about all the important little things. And I think I'd like to hand it off to them now. Maybe they can give me a jab or two on the way out. Who knows when I'll see you again. It's really good to see you guys now. And just thank you to the committee and everybody. This is a great room and a great turnout. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. My name is Zach Culver. I was one of the captains of the team. I am looking at your notes here. Was there some sort of flow you were thinking on this? Okay, great. Check. So as he mentioned, I actually live in Austin, Texas, and found out about this 2 weeks ago. Word travels fast. But I was sitting there with my wife and thinking about whether I should come and fly up here and come up for the weekend. It's like, how many Hall of Fames am I going to get inducted to in my life and our team? And this is a pretty cool deal, and so I figured I'd make it work. But it's awesome to be here. This is a very cool room. This is a very cool event. So thank you to everyone that put it on. And thank you for the honor of recognizing our team. It was a really cool group of guys. I mean, golf is interesting because, there's no fans. Not many of you have probably been to a high school golf tournament. So it's very much the team and the coach and, getting there and making sure that everyone's ready to rock and do their best and set up to succeed. And golf is also, a lot of the time it's in the summer where we're all playing together. And this was definitely a group of guys that was not just here for the fall golf season. We were all over the place at Pinecrest and Glen Ellen and the other courses in the area all throughout the summer and building friendships and bonds that were great. And frankly, I went out and played a couple years of college golf and missed the high school team that I had because we had such a great group of people. So I'll turn it over to some of these other guys, but thank you everyone for putting this on. Thank you for recognizing our team, and thanks for the evening.
Matt Lucier. Just a lot of great memories playing at Pinecrest after school, piling into the cars of the upperclassmen when I was underclassmen, driving down the road, getting the privilege of playing golf every day after school is pretty awesome, thinking back to it. And I texted my brother earlier today. I was like, "Give any Holliston golf shirts kicking around the house?" And believe it or not, he had this pullover in the closet just inside the mudroom. It was the leftmost hanging piece of clothing in the closet. I think the fashion. 20 years of layers. I think this fashion stands the test of time, but maybe the last thing I'll say is a special thanks to my parents for giving me the privilege of playing golf for fun growing up, and
Hi, everyone. Steve DiCecco. It was such an honor playing on the golf team with Murph. Everyone sort of covered all the bases, but a huge thank you to our parents, George Childs as well. And we used to get dropped off every day in the summer at sunrise at either Pinecrest or Glen Ellen. We get picked up at sunset. We'd be there all day, every day, and all we did was play golf. It was a huge part of my childhood. It's still a huge part of my adult life. I'm incredibly grateful for all the friendships and everything that came from Coach Murph and the golf team. It made us great players and even better people. We were officially the best dressed team we had. I mean, we've covered it, but we had some incredible dry joy jackets and pants. No, the bag, if you get a chance to see the bag, we're the only team with Titleist bags in the league. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. And I still have those. And yeah, just a huge thank you to the Hall of Fame Association, everyone. And yeah. Oh, he's not here with us tonight. I think he injured his back playing lacrosse with his son. He probably shouldn't be playing lacrosse, but that's okay. Andy Ingham was the head pro at Pinecrest for our first 2005, 2006. He moved over to Glen Ellen. He played such a huge role. And yeah, assistant coach for forever. If your kids play golf now and you play in any U.S. kids golf events, Andy runs those. He does incredible things for the community, and I'll never forget all of his one-liners. But man, we're very fortunate, and thank you all.
Thank you, 2006 Golf State Champs.
Before we move on to our coaches, I just think we really got to give recognition again to this committee. They're wonderful. Can you guys stand up? I know you don't want to. Stand up. I get in on this like at the very end. They got 95% of it done, and I see all the work that they do. It's really tremendous. It's very, very tough work. And it's hard to figure out who's going in this year and then collect up all the stuff. So you guys are wonderful. Thank you for doing so much. All right, finally, we have two coaches being inducted into the first Hall of Fame class. This first coach is really a lot more than the coach, really, really special. We'd like to recognize Paul Rolls. Nobody's more responsible for the robust culture of Holliston than Paul Rolls. Upon his arrival in 1968, accompanying his good friend and fellow Hall of Famer Tom Cato, Rolls immediately set about building one sport at a time. As an outdoor track coach, he led the team to a state championship in 1972, despite not having a facility and practicing in the parking lot. In 1976, he followed Coach Cato as coach of the football team and immediately led the team to an undefeated season and a Super Bowl appearance. While he also spent many years as a health teacher at the high school, his most indelible mark on Holliston was felt as an athletic director, where he oversaw the rapid expansion of programs offered, including the addition of gymnastics, golf, wrestling, hockey, and both boys and girls soccer. Without Coach Rolls, many of these fellow inductees tonight would not have had the same opportunities. He also coordinated a $125,000 fundraising effort to build a new football field, founded Harbor, and Holliston earned, and this is really amazing. I don't know how many of you remember the Dalton trophies, but the Dalton trophies were giving to the teams. You take all the combined teams from the high school, and they put them all together, all the one-loss records, and do them all. So it's really incredible to win the Dalton trophies years and years ago, and they won it 10 times in 20 years. Just a remarkable accomplishment. His work culminated in the high school field house being named after him in 2006. We'd like to ask Paul Rose Jr. to come up and accept this plaque in recognition of his dad's induction.
Jay, you just covered a lot of the points I was going to go over. Just to give a little background, our father was the athletic director teacher and coach here in Holliston for over 30 years. I'm not going to go through all 30 years, so get that out of the way. He grew up in a middle-class family in Cranston, Rhode Island. He was a four-star, four-season sport athlete. He played football, basketball, baseball, and track. He, upon graduation, he was, if many of you people knew him, when he graduated high school, he was 6'3", 190 pounds. And no one who knew him then could picture what he looked like when he graduated college. When he graduated, he was recruited to play tight end at Boston University. As legend has it, he outgrew his position. By the time he was a sophomore, he was 6'6", 260 pounds, and he was playing offensive tackle and defensive end. One of his teammates and lifelong friends nicknamed him Big Fella. Okay, that person was Tommy Cato. So after graduating college, they both went back to Rhode Island, where they both had coaching jobs at different schools. Our father was athletic director and teacher in Scituate, Rhode Island. And Tommy gave him a call, telling him about a town named Holliston. He said, they're looking for an AD, and I'm looking for a defensive coordinator. So let's go. So they did. As athletic director, he believed that interscholastic sports were an important part of education. Some of the lessons learned on the courts, fields, and diamonds are just as important as those learned in the classroom. By expanding the athletic program, more students would be able to participate in athletics and learn those important lessons. The two things necessary to have successful programs, as we've heard many, many times tonight, are to have great coaches and great athletes. Unfortunately, Holliston had both of them. As Jay mentioned, the Dalton trophies that were won over the time. How important are coaches to a student's development? Well, 10, 20, 30 years later, you may not remember who your English teacher was or who your math teacher was, but you'll never forget who your coach was. My family would like to thank the Holliston Hall of Fame Committee, and also congratulations to all of tonight's inductees.
Thank you very much, Paul Jr., and congratulations to your dad. He was a heck of a guy who wore a big old cowboy hat a lot. Last up, Kevin.
Thank you. The next coach we'd like to recognize is Ed Mantenuto. For those of you who have been following Holliston High School sports for the past 2 decades, there's a good chance that you know Ed Mantenuto. For those of you who don't know Ed, his is the familiar face found selling tickets and patrolling the stands at numerous Panther sporting events. But Ed's involvement with Holliston High School sports and administration well predates his ticket-selling days. A native of Needham, he was born Joseph Edward Mantenuto and arrived at Holliston High School in 1978 as the new assistant principal. He was well prepared for the position, having spent 7 years as an administrator and hockey coach at Enrico Fermi High School in Enfield, Connecticut. He assumed the head hockey coach position in Holliston in 1979, and over the course of 11 seasons, he won more than 130 games, twice reaching the Eastern Mass Division II finals. Ed's career took a sudden turn in 1990 when he suffered a massive stroke that paralyzed him and left him unable to speak. Today, following years of therapy, he lives in Holliston, active in his high school responsibilities as well as a middle school cafeteria monitor. Ed's coaching reputation distinguished him among his peers. One former player recalled that Coach Mantenuto was the best coach I ever played for. He was the toughest coach and expected 120% for practices and games. He preached that the way you practice is the way you were going to play in the game. Another former player said, Ed wasn't just a coach, he was a father figure. He inspired you to want to do the right thing. Still, to this day, anyone you ask will tell you he impacted their life in some way. A former Tri-Valley League opposing coach described Ed's coaching style as a strict discipline system. If his players followed that system, they'd be able to do things that they would allow them to beat teams they normally wouldn't, he said. Ed has been the recipient of many prior awards, including the Boston Globe Hockey Coach of the Year, the National Ice Hockey Officials Coach of the Year, and is a member of the Massachusetts Hockey Association Hall of Fame. He was also named the Tri-Valley League's Hockey Coach of the Year 3 times. We'd like to invite Ed up to accept his plaque in recognition of his induction. And there's a picture here of you in the, is that really you? You want to see it all? Huh? You want to see it all? No, okay.
First of all, I'd like to thank the committee for recognizing me tonight as congratulations and rewards recipients, athletes. I want to acknowledge Paul Rose, who's a great athletic director, a good coach, and I'm going to finally miss him. Michael Kalkassi was a super player, a good coach, and I'd like to recognize Rick Lamagna, Dan Shine. We go back a lot of years. In 1979, I played him, and I couldn't beat him, but he was a great coach, and he won the state championships at 3 different levels. You know, the greatest comeback life, said Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. I suffered a stroke adversity in my life, have come back many times as a coach and a survivor of a stroke. We lost a son, an educator, a senior citizen enjoying life with my daughter, 3 families, many friends. My daughters, Megan, Katie Jo, and Lauren. I started this journey as a coach in 1970 at Enrico Fermi High School. I helped launch the first hockey team there, leading first 6 seasons and coaching them to an undefeated season the second year. A few years ago, I was recognized as an athletic Hall of Fame and enjoying the reconnecting of former players and friends. We shared some laughs, and my unconventional coaching methods perhaps wouldn't be appropriate today. I came into 1977 as an administrator and hockey coach. I obtained my master's degree in education and raised my young Franklin, nearby Franklin. My son, Michael, Holliston, hockey player in Holliston. I spent years in Holliston during my tenure. I found my purpose and passion with young people and helping them develop and grow. I received my accolades on and off the ice, including beyond President George Bush, Governor Michael Dukakis, and Senator Ted Kennedy. On drunk driving and teenage alcohol addiction, the decision is yours. Many remember me as a fixture on hallways of Holliston High School in 1980. Serving as assistant principal at the high school. In 1977, in my tenure as a hockey coach at Holliston High School, we included winning 200 plus games, recognized by the Tri-Valley League Coach of the Year, Boston Globe Coach of the Year, National Ice Hockey Association Coach of the Year, and I was previously inducted into the Massachusetts Hall of Fame. One of the most exciting moments in my career was watching players. Steve DiNincenzo scored fastest hat trick, 3 goals in 12 seconds in a high school game against our rivalry Westwood High School. I also always had an expectations of kids and pushed them to be the best. During my tenure, I coached the Springfield Olympic Junior team. In 1981 National Championship, I coached the national champion, and Dan Shine was assistant coach. I also coached several teams, including the Bay State Games, who won 2 championships, the national hockey team at Lake Placid, serving as an assistant coach of the USA Hockey in Colorado Springs. In my time coach, I was lucky with many young people in Holliston. I had the opportunity coach several future standout draftees for the NHL, including Keith Tkachuk, Craig Janney, Rich Lovell, Joe Hubig, Ian Moran, and Chris Ross. Unfortunately, as many you know, my career was cut short because I had the stroke, suffered in 1989. This left me unable to speak and paralyzed my right side. My stroke incapacitated me for 10 years. I had to relearn how to talk and walk again. It was devastating, resulted in my retirement from school as administrator and coach. Which felt much soon. I gotten through this without tremendous support I received from my friends, family, and the hockey community and the community. Today, years of rehab, I'm proud to be an effective Holliston resident participating in local charity groups Lions Club member. I also worked as a cafeteria monitor middle school in Holliston Holliston sports event. I find great seeing the children and former players and students being active members in this community. The recovery, my stroke, loss of my son Michael, who attended Holliston High School and played hockey there, have been challenged to overcome. But I was a fighter, and I always taught the students, players, to fight for their hopes and dreams. I hope that story helps inspire, never give up. In my role as a coach, I was tremendous in developing young men at the highest level of hockey. But more importantly, the satisfaction came from watching them apply the skills and lessons they learn off the ice and watch their development as young people. This is what it stands out to be more than success and wins. I stand before you extremely humbled and honored. I feel to have the community as coach. This takes a village, and I wouldn't be here without all you, my friends, former players and students in the family community. I'd like to dedicate the honor to support me along this recognition. Means so much. I'm certainly grateful. I was inducted in the Enfield Hall of Fame, coach of the Springfield Junior Olympics, won the national title for a group of 16 to 20 age elite hockey players, Holliston High School hockey coach, connected 200 victories in my tenure, 2 Eastern Mass Division finals, 3 times honored as Coach of the Year by Tri-Valley League, Boston Coach, Globe Hockey Coach of the Year, National Association Coach of the Year, inducted into the Hall of Fame, coach of 2 Bay State champions, coach of the national team at Lake Placid, 3 times hockey at Colorado Springs. And I'm certainly grateful that this is happening to me. Thank you.
Ed, wait a second. Jason Smith, come on down. And are your grandkids here? Could they come out, please? And stand behind you. I'm just getting them back.
That's a good picture.
Wicked.
Hi, my name is Jason Smith. I represent the many friends and former players who know and love Coach Menudo. As you may know, Ed lost his beloved son, Michael, 8 years ago while in service to his country. Michael had excelled in hockey at Holliston High School and later at the University of Maine. In 2003, he answered a casting call for a major motion picture about the 1980 U.S. Olympic team, titled The Miracle. The movie opened to rave reviews and featured Michael Menudo starring as the Olympian Jack O'Callahan. In the movie's premiere, Michael played the player's role. So on this night, as we gather to honor Coach Mantenuto and other inductees, we thought it'd be appropriate to remember Michael. In that regard, we'd like to present this gift to Coach Mantenuto.
Thank you.
There's one other gift, Coach. As I took on being the assistant hockey coach this year at Holliston High, I grabbed some stuff, some merchandise from the team, and we're going to suit you up again as a Panther. So congratulations.
See you later.
There you go.
Coach, 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 coach. That's what we all call him now. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
It's a rather large bucket. Okay. We'd like to ask everyone to join us in congratulating the third class of Holliston High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Jay and Kevin, thank you for serving as tonight's MCs. We appreciate your contributions to this event and all that you do for the Holliston community. Thank you so much. Before we end tonight's celebration, we'd like to pull the winner of our 50-50 raffle, so get your tickets ready. Patrice, come on up with that envelope. Tonight's winning ticket number, I believe we raised $600, so split evenly, obviously $300. Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Tonight's winning number is 633-6706. I can read it again. Oh, look at that. Congratulations. We hope you have enjoyed tonight's event. We look forward to continuing this tradition of honoring those who have contributed to Holliston athletics. Congratulations again to everyone inducted this evening. Thank you all for coming. Good night.